If you love horror and mysterious stories, then subscribe now and stay with us, because tonight is going to be truly terrifying. So let's dive into the story. The Dark Truth 7, the embodiment of fear.
A small village called Willow Creek in the United States. People feared the forest that surrounded their homes. The trees were ancient, the roads were covered in fog, and strange stories had been passed down for generations. The villagers believed that something lived deep in the woods, something that only woke up after midnight. One cold autumn night, a 16-year-old boy named Tom decided to prove the stories were false. "I'm going to the old cabin in the forest," he told his friends. "There are no ghosts. It's just a scary story." At exactly midnight, Tom grabbed a flashlight and walked into the woods. The wind whispered through the trees, and an owl hooted somewhere in the darkness. After nearly 20 minutes of walking, he found the abandoned cabin. The wooden door was slightly open. Tom pushed it and stepped inside. Dust covered the floor, but something immediately caught his attention. There was a trail of fresh footprints in the dust. Someone, or something, had been there recently. A chill ran down his spine. Then he heard it. Thump, thump, thump. Heavy footsteps echoed from the second floor. Tom swallowed hard and slowly climbed the stairs. The sound stopped. When he reached the top, the room was completely empty. No person, no animal, nothing. Suddenly, his flashlight flickered and went out. Darkness swallowed the room. Then a cold whisper drifted beside his ear. "Why are you here?" Tom froze. His heart pounded so loudly he could barely hear anything else. With shaking hands, he hit the flashlight. The beam returned. At the far end of the room stood an old mirror. Tom looked into it and screamed. The mirror showed the room behind him, but his reflection was missing. Instead, there was a tall black figure standing directly behind him. Tom spun around. Nothing was there. He looked back at the mirror. The figure was closer now. Its head was tilted unnaturally, and its long arms hung at its sides. Tom could almost feel its icy breath on his neck. The cabin suddenly shook. Doors slammed shut. A distant crying sound echoed through the walls. Tom ran. He rushed down the stairs, threw open the front door, and sprinted into the forest. As he ran, he heard footsteps behind him. Step, step, step. Slow, steady, getting closer. Tom never dared to look back. Finally, he saw the lights of the village and raced home. The next morning, several villagers went to inspect the cabin. They found nothing unusual. No figure. No signs of anyone living there. Only a single trail of footprints in the dust. The footprints did not lead out of the cabin. They led into it, as if something had returned to the darkness before sunrise. After that night, Tom never entered the forest again. But sometimes, when the clock struck midnight, he heard a whisper outside his bedroom window. "You saw me." And when he looked into the darkness, he could swear he saw two pale eyes staring back at him.